You took the physical or the written test in 74?
I took the physical and the written test in 74.
Well, they made you take it together?
Yeah, I took it together.
So they made sure before they even hired you that like that far in advance that you could do that.
That I was going to be able to pick up a can and do that.
Really?
But it was crazy. But like I says, I took the test in 74, completely forgot about it.
Yeah.
Because I was just doing odd jobs. I was working in a car wash. I was just hanging out at the time.
Yep.
I was 23 years old, 20 years old.
You were having fun.
I really was. And I didn't get called till 81, so that was 7 years.
So tell us about the daunted He-Man test. Let's hear about it, because we've heard of it. We've never had anybody in here that spoke about it.
From what I recall about it, it was really crazy because they had these cans with weights. They were gigantic. They were heavy. They gave you these steel toe shoes that you strapped on, because if you dropped them, you chopped your feet off. And you had to, in a certain amount of time, you had to pick them up, put them on a table. Pick them up, put them on a table. There was like 4 or 5 of them. Then you had to run, and they had these 40-pound sacks that were like huge. It was like carrying a body.
Okay.
It's not like you were in the fire department.
Yeah.
You had to throw them over your shoulder, and you couldn't throw them on the table. You had to run to one end of the place, lay them down, run back at another one, run back at another one. And there was a couple other things I don't recall, but to me, the biggest thing I know, guys were working out to take this test. I didn't work out for it.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a decent mark, but I didn't. They were working out, going to the gym, doing this and that. I'm like, I'm just gonna go take the test. Took it at the Brooklyn Navy Yard. That's where we went.
You see any guys really struggle with it?
There were a couple of guys that were throwing up, and
it
was tough. If you weren't in a little bit of shape, but like I said, I was 20 years old at the time, so
you were young. You were probably moving around. It wasn't like you were sitting on a couch.
Oh no, I was playing sports. So I mean, I was it was.
So my uncle had me doing when I. In the 90s, oh, you're getting on this, you got to start getting ready for the physical, because he did the same thing. He took the He-Man test.
Okay.
So he has me doing sit-ups with plates on my fucking chest. And I'm like, dude, and then I go to take the physical. I'm like, this is a joke.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
Nothing like that.
It was nothing like it. Yeah.
So they did all that, though. You had to do sit-ups. You had to do it was a physical test.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. They wanted to make sure that you weren't going to drop dead in the street.
Yeah.
Which makes a lot of sense.
No, it does. It does. But then it got to a point with then the women were coming on the job.
Yeah.
And we'll get into a little bit of that later. I got a story about 2 of the girls that were in my garage, but they had to make it easier. They had to. They weren't. The numbers were coming down.